Hi friends, my name is Christina and today we are going to be talking about some disgusting infections that I have seen while incarcerated in prison and in jail in the state of Florida. So if your stomach can handle it and you're interested in hearing the real details of some of the grossest infections that spread and that I have seen while in there, just stick around. Good morning, my lovelies, my beauties, my friends. My name is Christina and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really hope that you will subscribe, stick around, take a chance on hearing some things that I have to say. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know, y'all are my babies. So today, before we actually get into this video, I do want to remind y'all that I do have a second channel, Casually Christina. Over there, I'll be talking about all things girly, the nail polish that I use, all that stuff that y'all always ask me about. So make sure you click the link down in the description box if you're interested in that type of thing. That will be more current stuff that's going on, you know, makeup, eventually fitness, you know, all that good stuff. More casual Christina. We can be casual over there. Alrighty, today we're going to be talking about some of the infections that went around while in jail and in prison, including the one that I caught multiple times. Yes, I even caught something multiple times and it was horrible. So moving on into it. First thing I'm going to talk about that I saw a lot of, which was in the county jail. A lot of the times you have people coming in the county jail, they're coming straight off of the streets. They have been, some of the women, not all of them, some of the women have been walking the streets for sometimes years. Some of them have been using IV needles to do drugs. Some of them have been doing a lot of different things. Now, I have seen a lot of abscesses, and if you don't know what that is, I'm going to give you an example of the one that sticks out in my mind the most. It was an older lady. I want to say she was probably around 55 years old, something like that, and she was using a needle in her hand, okay? Now she had a vein or I guess whatever that ran in her hand, but she had got an abscess in her hand and it was huge, okay? And it was like the skin was all up and it was oozing. And they weren't giving her any medical treatment. And that's like the worst, one of the worst things about being in prison is the lack of medical treatment. I get it. We're lawbreakers. We're troublemakers. We don't deserve health care. We don't deserve any of that, right? That's what some of y'all are going to let me know down in the comment section. Thanks. Moving on, but it was like oozing and she had to wrap it up with toilet paper because they weren't giving her any kind of treatment, not even a Band-Aid, anything like that. Now you can get Band-Aids from the CO station or whatever if they feel like giving you one, or if they even have them. I can't even tell you how many times that they were out of Band-Aids, but that needed more than a Band-Aid, honey. That needed a gauze, that needed to be drained, that needed a lot of stuff. And she also told me that it was very painful. And the bad thing about that is when you have oozing sores on your body is you're in the same, you know, area as hundreds of other women and things spread, okay? It's not like they have antibacterial soap in there. No, they don't. You know, people touch things, you know, you cannot escape it. It doesn't matter how clean of a person you are, you cannot escape these type of things in these environments. And it's scary when you're in there, and it's also really sad to see people go through that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to tell you guys about are colds and stuff like that. Now, why are colds important? Why are colds in here? And let me tell you, the thing about colds or the flu or any kind of anything like that is, once again, it spreads because you are in the same area with a bunch of women. Even when I was in prison, because you're in the same dorm and there's not a lot of air circulation. I mean, you have fans blowing, but it's basically blowing the same germs around. I have seen women get into fights because another woman who was sick did not cover her mouth when she coughed, okay? People take that real serious when you're in prison, especially old timers, people that have life or have 20 or 30 years, like they're set in their ways. Do not come around them, don't sneeze, don't cough, and for good reason, because when one person gets sick, It seems like everybody gets sick, and it's not like when you're at home and you can prop your feet up, or you can lock your door and you can turn off your phone and you can just watch TV and stay under the covers and, you know, drink hot chicken noodle soup or whatever you prefer, or drink hot tea. It's not like that. When you're sick in there, you're sick and you go through it. And you don't want to spread it to anybody, but sometimes you just can't help it, because it's not like we can walk around with bleach spray or Lysol. We don't have it like that in there. So that is another thing that is incredibly unfortunate, that is awful. All right, so the next disgusting infection that I'm going to tell you guys about is the one that I myself contracted, and that was staph. Yes. Before going to prison, I had never had a staph infection before in my life. Did not even know what a staph infection was. I mean, I was 21 when I went in. You know, it's not like, you know, there's brochures being handed out to you at Walmart to watch out for staph infection. But staph infections run rampant in the prison, or the female prison that I was in. Maybe not your prison, but mine. And I didn't even know what it was, okay? I ended up getting on the back of my leg what looked like a boil. Now, I know this is gross, but you know I'm going to give you the details. It looked like a boil. It started off like that, and it really hurt. I mean, I thought it was like a spider bite at first. I didn't know what it was. Ended up going to medical, because that is the thing I will say about prison, is when somebody has a staph infection, they get you in pretty quick. Now, I know I've told y'all about medical before. It did take me a week to get in. The first time I had a staph infection, I did end up catching it 3 times while I was in there. You have to pay to see the medical doctor out of your own money. I think it's $15 to put in a sick call and to see the doctor, or the doctor. I don't even know if it's a doctor. I don't know if it's an RN. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to downplay a nurse or anything like that, but I'm just saying you have to pay. And I'll tell you what happens is, if you don't have money, then you go into the negative, okay? So if you don't have somebody putting money on your books, and you have to see the doctor and it's $15, then you have to see the doctor again, it's $15, you know, 30, 45, you know, $60. And then one day your mom or whoever decides to bless you for Christmas and put money on your books, and they only gave you $30, you don't get a penny of that. All you've done was pay your medical bills. So keep that in mind. So I got this boil on the back of my leg, and it ended up being a staph infection. And if you have never had a staph infection, I'm here to tell you right now, sister friend, brother friend, that is so painful. One of the times that I had a staph infection, it was so bad, I couldn't even go to work. Now, in order for the prisons to tell you you are excused from work, you've got to really be in a bad position. It don't matter if you have a cold or the flu or anything like that. You got to go to work, which I get, because that's the way it is out here on the streets, right? Like, not all of us can call in sick every time we have the sniffles. Let's just be real. But it was so bad, I remember laying on my stomach for 2 to 3 days in the dorm and could not even hardly get up to go to the bathroom because of that staph infection in the back of my leg. It shot pain. Like, you guys, you have muscles in the back of your leg that you didn't even know you had until you get a staph infection, okay? Things start hurting that you didn't even know that you had, okay? Like, I had pain shooting down the back of my leg all the way to my ankle and all the way up my back from the staph infection. It's like it was in the muscle or something, and it was so painful, and it was hot, and it was like big on the back of my leg, and it was red, and it was just, if you touched it, it was like a, oh my gosh. If you've ever, y'all may not even want to admit it. I'm not even going to ask y'all to let me know if you had one below, because if so, you probably don't even want to tell me, because it's so awful. Anyways, I ended up getting that 3 times, and I don't even know how I got that. I don't. I know that I didn't sit on the toilet seats. I always put down toilet paper or whatever, but I will also tell you guys this, the toilets in the women's prison that I was in shot water up at you whenever you flushed it. Yes, disgusting. You know what we would do? We would literally use the potty, flush the toilet, and run before it started, because when it did, the water shot up. Can you imagine being in a prison? Okay, a prison is very disgusting. It's very dirty. Nothing about it is clean. Okay, it's like being in a public bathroom on steroids. The nastiest public bathroom you've ever seen times 100. Okay, and then you flush the toilet and water shoots up and splashes you in your face. You literally are like, I'm melting. Ew, get it off of me. And there's nothing, like, there's no antibacterial you can clean yourself with. All you got is the raunchy little soap that they give you, which is like hotel soap from the worst hotel you can get. It doesn't even lather. Or the soap that you buy off of Canteen, which is still not antibacterial. It is awful. All right, this is gonna be the last and probably one of the grossest infections I'm gonna tell you guys about. Being in prison, I saw, I'm so sorry you guys, this is gonna be gross. I'm just letting you know, warning you, if you have a queasy stomach, this is your chance to exit now. Being in prison, I saw underwear that had things in them of the color of the rainbow. Okay, I know that this is gross. I've got to tell you guys though. I don't even know personally what would cause some of these colors that I saw. Now, I am not body shaming anybody. Okay, I understand that people live hard lives. Maybe they contract things. Maybe there's certain illnesses that do that to you. I'm not sure. So I am by no means putting anybody else down. And I know that these women would not want this. I know they don't just wake up one day and go, I want to have this color in my underwear. You know, it's something that is going on with them on the inside. I have seen underwear in the trash can that had, oh my gosh, I have seen underwear, whoa. But the worst time I'm going to tell you guys about was in the shower. Okay, in the shower in the second prison that I was at. Now in these showers there were curtain rods, and there's little tiny curtains that are see-through, and they don't cover up the whole entire shower. I mean, I don't want you guys to think it's like this private thing. It's not a private thing. It's very much still open. I think the curtain is only there to block some of the water, so water's not going everywhere, even though it does. And the waters don't drain. You're standing in standing water. I've told y'all about that a million times. But you hang your clothes up over that rod because you get in the shower, you take your clothes off, and then you hang your clothes up there. That, you know, because it's not like you have a chair or anything to put your clothes on. Well, I went into the bathroom and this woman had her granny panties, and I tell y'all about these panties all the time, and no shame to people that wear granny panties. It's nothing to be embarrassed of, but for y'all to get an image in your mind of what they look like, the real long underwear that pull all the way up to here, like humongous underwear. It doesn't even matter if you weigh 95 pounds, your underwear are this big, like that type of vibe. They were hanging up, but with the crotch part facing out. And literally, guys, from the front to the back was green. Okay, and I'm not telling you guys, like, it was like army green with neon green on the, like, I have never seen, I could not, like, I have no idea what would cause that type of thing, especially because by the time you get to prison, you've been in there for a while, right? It's not like you're coming right off the streets in jail. Like, you know, like something is going on in your body. And why hang your underwear up there? Because let me tell you what happens in the female's prison, okay? Women are gossipy. Everybody's talking about everybody, okay? And I literally remember girls running in, going, looking at the underwear, going, and then running out and saying, girl, Michelle, Sarah, Keisha, Nika, y'all come in here, look at this. So everybody's like running in and looking, and like, and everybody's talking, she nasty, and it's like, girl, hide those underwear. Girl, put them in the trash. Like, oh my gosh, why are they hanging up there? Ew, it's touching the shower curtain. Like, oh, it was so green. Like, you guys, when you are in a close quarters with that many women, honey, when I tell you, you see things that you can't unsee, that is etched in my mind for life. So, whew, hope I didn't gross you guys out too much. Those are some of the infections that I saw while ever I was in prison, state prison here in Florida. Ugh. Please, y'all, please don't forget to like this video. It's a free way that you can help your girl out. And until next time, I love you guys so, so, so very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
We are